G'day viewers, welcome to Totally Fucked Up Friday, where we bring you news stories from around the world that prove that the world is totally fucked up. And
Hi.
just possibly, my friend AJ may be drowned out, I can still hear my neighbours are having a party, even though it's somewhat late at night. In my quiet residential neighbourhood, people don't want noise in a quiet residential neighbourhood, you idiots!
We're very nice about noise all the time.
So, you might hear them, they might hear us. It's all fair. But I'm going to start off with some more totally fucked up stuff. A topic I come back to repeatedly, copyright law, international trade law, which covers that as well. People saying, why do you keep coming back to that? Isn't that all old news? Didn't we win? Didn't we win with SOPA and PIPA? Well, those did get knocked down. But, and one that I've mentioned repeatedly, the latest secretly negotiated international trade agreement, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It sounds good right until the rogering with no lube starts. It's as simple as that. And, while on the internet you'll see people worrying about what it will mean for the internet and copyright law and fair use and all those things, it gets way worse. Actually, the poorer you are, the worse it gets. Like restricting international trade, not letting you get cheap medicines, stuff that might actually make some people die. And I say might because it's been done in secret. So we don't actually know exactly what. There was a leaked version at the start of last year.
Have you got cancer? Have you got cancer? Pick a syringe. Pick a syringe. Pick one. Come on. Oh, wrong.
Yeah, and they're pushing this in secret. If it's all above board, why are you hiding it from everyone? And it's mind-blowing. But if people always say, what can we do? Well, because this is government's... the Pacific gives you the hint of who's involved. It's,
yeah, pretty much.
It's the US, it's Canada, it's Australia, New Zealand. It's a whole bunch of Asian nations. You can look it up. There's a link to the Electronic Frontier Foundation talking about it. And it's nice. There's a big fuck off button for Americans to click that will send a letter to your Congress critters. But people around the world, you should write to people in government and say, what are you doing about TPP? What's your position? What are you going to do to protect our rights on this? Because we have seen that you can actually have an impact doing that. So while they're conducting this in secret, you really want to sort of get onto it. And people say, oh, how bad would it be? Man, just look at what's happening now. Right now. There's another link down here to a creepy as fuck story. It's talking about, this is Europe-centric, but this happens everywhere as well. Talking about the private internet police. Namely, that most of the internet is actually governed by private enterprise.
Absolutely. The internet is an owned space. Never forget that.
Yeah. And when governments aren't fucking things up, private corporations can just go, look, we've got a little filter to protect the kiddies. What? Your completely innocent community site got caught up in our net?
Oh, well.
Sucks to be you.
Sorry about that. Have you got $200 million to fight us? Well, I guess you're screwed.
So there are multiple cases like bloody Homeland Security for some reason in the US get into it. They talk about protecting the borders from trade and they just shut down websites. And sites are being filtered in Australia. Sites are being filtered all through Europe. It's just crazy. And it's already happening. So when you see laws that are going to make it worse, that's really fucking creepy. And another classic example of how bad they can get. A Canadian Conservative politician talking about how it should be illegal for you to rip CDs to your MP3 player or computer.
That you own.
Yeah. No, this is not stuff you stole. This is not even stuff you borrowed from your friends. But he's not the first to say it.
Mm-mm.
He won't be the last to say it.
Hell no.
He's saying it should be illegal to rip CDs to play them on another format. And his analogy, where he wanted to show this is what it's like, he actually said it's like going into a shop and buying some socks and taking the socks and then saying, oh no, wait, I wanted shoes, and taking shoes as well without paying for them.
Now just to point out, It's absolutely not like that.
Not at all. And this is AIDSy who can see that that's not a good analogy, okay?
Yeah, I spend my days chained in the cellar with a GIMP mask on.
And even he knows you'd have to be really stupid. Like, one of the articles I read said, no, a better analogy would be, it's like buying a drink and then saying, I should be allowed to drink it from whatever receptacle I choose, because I fucking paid for it! It's like, I don't know, how stupid. Is there an international competition for the most stupid thing a politician can say? Because that's a front runner.
Possibly, because there are contenders.
There was an American Republican just this week who actually said he's going to talk about the peace process in the Middle East and it should be happening. And he actually said Arafat and Sharon should be starting peace talks. And I'm not saying that I oppose peace talks.
We love peace talks. We are up for peace talks. Big ups for peace talks, however.
But not when zombies are involved. Because Arafat's been dead for 8 years. And Sharon's been in a coma for 6. And this guy who's being paid to represent his constituency has gone, I think the dead guy and the guy in a coma should be running peace talk. Look, if I was running the world, there would be a threshold where when a politician says something stupid enough, when they sink under the threshold of dumb fuckery, okay, red lights go off, sirens blare, and jackbooted black leather-clad thugs drag them out of the Parliament or the Congress or the Senate or wherever they are, and they're never seen again. Do you know what? See, I'm a forward thinker. I come up with things like that.
He does.
But last time I brought that up, like when I kind of stormed the Australian Parliament, jumped over the barrier from the public gallery, and I suggested the most stupid person speaking might have been Christopher Pine.
May have been.
Might have been.
May have been.
And I suggested a process that possibly involved some permanent harm to him. Right? They made me the bad guy.
They made him the bad guy. Now, look, I do acquiesce and say that you did have a Ziploc bag full of my semen.
Was that some chemical, like rice? Oh, now I know why I was in that police interview for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Political correctness gone mad. Okay? And I thought that was the most totally fucked up thing I'd read this week, right?
Oh, but no!
Story broke in Australia, right around here in our little town, Melbourne. And as soon as this broke in the news, a bunch of people were sending me the link going, this is for you, this is for you. And I agree, this is totally fucked up, okay? A girl from a rather posh private school just outside of Melbourne, Geelong Grammar. Okay?
Produced 2 Prime Ministers.
Yes. It's up there, right?
Mm.
And now she was going to Geelong Grammar to get a quality education. She expected to go into law.
She expected to go into law.
But she didn't get the grades required.
Ah!
And so she and her mother are suing the school. She, because she thinks the school owes her for earnings she would miss if she had the law degrees she so richly deserved.
Mm.
And her mother, because she said she gave up a largely notional business, which was about chocolate fortune cookies, from which she expected to get $450,000. So they're both suing the school for damages, losses of potential income. And everyone out there, you're right, this is totally fucked up.
It is totally fucked up. What kind of a frickin' world do we live in when people who are born to wealth and who get everything served to them on the platter of their expectations in the time frame which they expect them to turn up, in a mindset that is all about them and their expectations, are expected to drop all their ideas of entitlement and I can't bring myself to say it, have to work for their gains, which they so richly deserve. What's going on?
I know, right? It's as if some people are actually suggesting that privilege and expectation of having stuff handed to you is wrong.
Oh.
It's as if the common working classes should have the same opportunity as the privileged elite. When you pay to go to an expensive school, what you expect should be given to you. It's not a case of earning it. You gave them money. You have more money. You should get what you expect. It's not about what you earn. It's about what you expect. Okay?
I mean, how ridiculous is this? Well, she's expected what? To go to a lesser university? To experience the dubious privilege of working with repackaged bogans and share a class with these clowns and essentially have to work for some kind of lesser ideal. Look, this is a woman who has owned waterfront property. This is a woman who has owned horses. This is a woman who has owned blacks. And now everybody's screaming and yelling at her to earn what she's supposed to get. I mean, what happened to expectation?
This is just so many different kinds of wrong. We should start a foundation for her.
Of course.
A foundation that will ensure that people born to privilege continue to enjoy privilege their entire life.
Entire life.
Could you imagine, without our foundation, who she'd be expected to associate with?
Oh, God. Oh. People on trams.
Who's behind this? This is like, okay, I didn't want to go out on the limb and say that this country had gone socialist. This country's gone socialist. I'm telling you right now, our foundation will protect privilege. It will protect birthright. It will protect the idea of inheriting something makes you better than someone who worked for something.
It will protect the idea that you are allowed to treat people who are not of your social class worse than people who are of your social class. I mean, how does anything get done if fruit pickers are allowed to speak?
You know what?
What?
We should call it the Liberal Party.
Genius.
There's a marketing campaign right now. The Liberal Party, putting everyone in their place.
Breathe out and take it.
Because if you don't support our foundation, you are saying people don't have any sort of God-given privilege to regard themselves as better than someone else.